As we turn our attention now to Veterans Day coming up this week, we're honoring stories of service and sacrifice that made our nation what it is today. Tonight we meet Major Dwayne Nickerson, who rushed to enlist after the attacks on Pearl Harbor, but had to finish up a few things like high school before his parents, including his World War I veteran father, would let him go.
I was building model airplanes. And my dad and my uncle had their heads up against the radio. The news was coming in from Pearl Harbor, you know. Folks said, no way, you're going to finish school first.
Dwayne Nickerson was one of 4 brothers to serve in World War II, each of them taking a unique path into the military. Dwayne and his longtime affinity for aviation finding their way into the pilot seat of a Waco CG-4 glider with the U.S. Army Air Corps.
They called it combat, but the C didn't stand for combat. The C stood for cargo.
His missions involved transporting personnel and equipment around the European theater. With hundreds of miles of range at a typical descent rate of 2 meters per second, it was effective for all sorts of missions, particularly quick transport over water.
When we were in England and we moved our base to France, we had all kinds of equipment in the glider because they had to bring the gliders across the English Channel.
Nickerson earned 3 Bronze Battle Stars for his participation in 3 pivotal campaigns that led to the end of the war: Ardennes, the Rhineland, and Central Europe. In the midst of all that, though, a reminder of his terms of service and the sacrifice that could be waiting on his very next flight.
And I came back from London on a 2-day leave, and in my mailbox, was these telegrams telling me about my brother being missing in action.
That must have been hard to lose.
Yeah, it was.
Dwayne's missions carried on through the end of the war, another clear memory for the 103-year-old veteran.
The war came to the end. Everybody was marched up and down the Champs-Élysées in Paris. We spent the night on the steps up to the cathedral, and they turned the water fountains on for the first time. Quite a deal. Kind of a wild place there. And I don't know. We each had a French girl, but I don't remember much else about it.
You didn't speak
If
French.
it is, I won't tell you.
Dwayne's flight career did not end there. He ended up piloting the very planes used to tow his glider up to speed, eventually instructed for the military, and flew commercially. All told, he logged more than 18,000 flight hours over his long life. He celebrated his 103rd birthday this past Friday, just in time for Veterans Day. We asked him what that day means to him. He was modest and said if he wears his veteran hat out, he isn't kicked out of many places anymore. And he does feel the gratitude for his and his family's generations of service. All this month, we honor the brave men and women who fought for our country by sharing their stories of triumph and tragedy. Our 30-minute Veterans Voices special airs this Tuesday at 7 o'clock. You can watch it right here on WWII 8 or over on WWII TV Plus or on our website, WWII.com.